Welcome to the Bloody Wars Bloodcast. Fun, baby. Let the motherfucking games begin.
Bloody Wars Nation! This is JP Pitts, your host of the Bloody Wars Tournament, and welcome to another episode of the Bloodcast. How's everyone doing today? Sorry I had to keep you guys waiting. I had some last-minute adjusting in my schedule, but we are back, folks. We are back and better than ever. How's everyone doing today? Before I bring my special guests out, it's going to be a good one this time. Before we get to our guests, we've got a couple of announcements. Update from, I guess you could say, me, because it's not going to be a Bloody War series, but just a little fun with the community before we close out 2024. We've got the Galloping Ghost Pong Tournament coming up. The Pong Tournament, folks. You guys asked for it. Ask and you shall receive. I better be expecting a lot of people to show up for this tournament because I don't know. Someone's mentioning that that the Pong tournament is going to be a better outcome than Bloody Wars, and I don't know. You just gotta. I don't know. I don't believe that for a second, but it's a good start. But anyways, folks. The Galloping Ghost Pong tournament at the Galloping Ghost Arcade on a Sunday, December 29th, 2024. It's going to start at 1 p.m. So just a little low-key type of tournament for my fighting game fans out there. I suggest you adjust your skills for a second. Adjust your fighting game hands and put some good use towards Pong. Because Pong. It's like a, how do I say it? It's like there's no advantage towards Pong unless if you're like you're stuck into that game. But I don't think anyone is. But the Pong it's an even game. So you guys better check out the tournament. Moving along, folks. We've got Norbert Vale in the stream chat. What's going on, Norbert? Thank you for being here. Coming up next, folks, we've got the Mortal Kombat tournament coming up on January 15th. Sunday, January 15th at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Best way to kick things off 2025. I think it's going to be a great tournament. We've got Richard DeVizio and the Pacino brothers and all of the Mortal Kombat characters coming down in action for the Bloody Wars series. So that's going to be cool to see. Sign up at www.bloody-wars-tournament.com and check it out, folks. So we've got the Fight Fest coming up, folks. We've got that big weekend project that we're looking to get our hands on. A little bit of an update news. So instead of doing new MK1, because I've been seeing a lot of low numbers towards that game, we decided, you know what? Instead of doing new MK1, let's take it back and play, and let's have a blast in the past, if you will. What that means, what do we got? What do we got on Friday instead? Instead of new MK1, we've got MK11. We are bringing back Mortal Kombat 11, the ultimate version, the latest version of Mortal Kombat 11. So that's going to be on Friday, the June 20th at 5 p.m. So all of you MK11 players out there, and I'm talking to Sonic Fox, come down here if you want to know what competition really smells like. I said that. Next up, folks, on Saturday the 21st at 1 p.m., we've got Street Fighter 6. And to close things off on Sunday for the Fight Fest event would be Tekken 8. So like I said, folks, a little bit of a new updated game that we had to put on. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great turnout. So we'll see what happens. But joining me now, my guest for this week, this is going to be a good time. This man has been you can say he's a big supporter for the Galloping Ghost Arcade. This man is from Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. He just came down here recently. His first day here was yesterday. He's a huge supporter for GGA, bringing in people from that state and bringing in the community. So, like I said, folks, my special guest at this time, he is the one and only Phill Bullmaster. Phill, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on, man. I love your passion. It's cool to see these Bloody War tournaments that you've been doing just grow and grow. And one of these times, I'm going to do my best to make it out there.
Oh, I know, man. I know you making the commitment for you to be out here. It's in the same amount of drive. It's you being over here from you literally next door neighbors from state to state, but you always show up whenever you can. Very much appreciated. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. In a really good place in life. Anytime I can come down to Chicago and see the rest of the Galloping Ghost crew, play some arcades. It's just a good time. You guys always treat people so good, and it's just a fun atmosphere. Just love it out here.
Well, you guys are coming out here, and we like to spread the joy of people, bringing back the games that they had from growing up, and just seeing that return. It's just like, oh, it's an amazing feeling. So we appreciate you guys coming out here for that. Well, first off, I just want to say, like I said, you're coming from Iowa, and I'm assuming you're staying at your hotel around here. So kudos to you. So yeah, I mean, what's the trip like? I mean, I have to know, like, I know you drove from point A to point B, but like, I gotta know what's the experience like behind the road.
So it's a lot more exciting than you would think. So first off, it's easy to get these states confused, but I'm Dayton, Ohio. So 4-letter states, and they're close together. A lot of people get them confused. You're not the only one. So it's a little bit less than a 5-hour drive each way. It's always seemed like a fast 5 hours. Part of it just being so excited to get here every time. Usually coming out with my friends, which makes the trip quick. But the funny thing is, every time we get about 40 minutes away from Chicago on the highway, the driving starts getting as crazy and aggressive as it gets. And I'm sure that you guys have all seen that. I've seen a couple wrecks out here right next to me on the way out. I've seen some of the closest near misses that you can have without being a wreck. So
it doesn't stop.
But besides just coming to the arcades and getting excited for the games, part of the excitement is the drive within the last 40 minutes. It's literally like I'm playing one of those, cruising USA games, and you just have to keep your eyes open. My daughter just turned 16, so there's no way she just got her license. There's no way I'm going to let her drive out here yet. But yeah, it's exciting. Can you speak to that as well? Is it like really aggressive and crazy where you're
dude, oh my God, just wait. If you haven't been to the city, like in Chicago, I mean, you haven't seen anything. Like just seeing like aggressive people now these days. Just wait till you come around on Sundays. You're gonna really see the church people taking their sweet time, like they got nowhere else to go. So you expect a lot of that on the road. So I can completely understand where you're struggling with.
It's different. It's funny too, because I know maybe a little less than a year ago they shut down the city and made it into a NASCAR track. And I was joking with my friends that I think some of the locals could have gone in and mixed it up pretty well with them the way they drive.
Yeah, I could see that too. I could see that. So yeah, speaking of your friends, you bring in a crowd, huh? How many? Usually you would come in with like a crew, usually like around 2 or 3 people top. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. So one thing about me with these arcades, I think that there's so much more fun co-op. Just having that experience with two players, it just makes the games that much more exciting. Sharing good memories with friends, like you said earlier, and just growing up playing these games. So yeah, these are guys that I go way back with. We all grew up playing games together. My brother comes out when he's able to. Got a friend that I usually come out with named Rob about 3-4 times a year. He's always excited to come out here. And then got some other guys that came out for their first time a few months ago. One of my good friends, Mike, and then my friend John. He's been out here a couple times too. And then Jr., one of my other good friends, he couldn't make it out this time, but he really impressed me. He's been out with me twice now, I believe, maybe 3 times. But the last time we were here, he stayed in the arcade from open to close, played the entire time, and only took a break once for lunch. So he's really too. So it's cool to see.
If you got big arcade fans that are coming into the Galloping Ghost, seeing 1,000 tops of arcade games, yeah, you could be in there forever. I mean, I can't blame them, So what would out of your trip here to the arcade, what would you say is like your favorite game? Because I know you had like a house high score for Desert Assault, correct?
Yeah, so that's a game so I started coming out here in 2019, and that's the first time I ever played Desert Assault and loved it so much that every time I came back, played through it with my friends every time, and then just really, really enjoyed it and wanted to get into scoring. So I started practicing at it and actually bought my own board on eBay, a PCB, and just practiced at home. And absolutely love that game. That's one of my favorite ones here, especially since I never even knew about it till 2019. Got a few others that I especially here. Big fan of TH Strikes Back. Really big fan of Caveman Ninja. Golly Ghost is amazing. Man, just so many out here. And then again, you have Street Fighter 2, Final Fight, your Mortal Kombats, which are always good. But I like a lot of vertical shmups, and horizontal shmups. Really been getting into those. Metal Black's been phenomenal. A lot of great light gun games here. I just played Dragon Gun about an hour ago. Played that through for the first time, and it's good. So kind of all over the place with what I like and what my favorites are. But I find new favorites every time I come out here, which is really cool. And like you said, with over 1,000 games, you're going to find stuff you've never heard of before, and just so much great stuff out there yet to be discovered.
It's funny you mentioned that because like when I first started coming into the arcade, like when I first started like it's full-time employee. When I first started on the job, literally at least 20 games max at that time. But then when you've seen games like Looney Tunes or like what's it called, like even gun games, they've even got like that Silent Scope game. It's just like me seeing that physically, I'm just like, what is this, a time machine? But I mean that's pretty accurate, especially if you've got like younger crowds and that are trying to get into this the same way that you guys did. And you bring in your family now and giving them an opportunity to experience what you've grown up with, and they'll pass that along for other generations, and it's a cool thing to see. So yeah, that commitment to the drive and coming in here, putting in the scores, and I've noticed too last year, I think, last summertime we had T20, and you would just instead of putting in the 50 to compete in T20, you just wanted to see early access of the arcade games before their release in the Monday Mystery. So what was your experience like when you saw all these new games, when you got to see the behind the scenes action?
It was really cool seeing it for the first time. So JP, every year, it was tough for me. August is such a busy month, have a lot of activities going on. It's seeing Duck release 20 games every single year the day before, and knowing that I wouldn't get to come out and play them, and knowing that they probably wouldn't be on the arcade floor, all of them, until at least, it could even be a year, was always tough. So was just trying to see if I could make it out there. Was able to get out there this year, and it didn't disappoint. Just so many great games out there. It was really cool seeing the community out there. Never been in the productions office before, and then just seeing everybody compete and just hang out and have fun and play all these new games that was just so excited to get to see those released. And I'm going to try. I heard Doc saying that T20 might look different next year, but going to try to make it as often as possible.
For sure. And I know you've got a busy schedule, you've got a family, and you're traveling from literally next door state to be here, and you've got a pretty tight schedule on your hands, so I can understand. So yeah, I mean, T20, that's going to be new. Especially 2025 coming up, there's going to be changes. So many changes around here, especially now with T20. I mean, I gotta ask Phil. I mean, what do you think would happen in T20 next year?
So to be honest, man, Durst keeps winning every time. Really impressed with him, and these last few ones, it's been 20 new games every single time, and he's still been winning. So he's as good as it gets. I kind of think that I don't know if it's going to be tailored to give more people incentive to just go at it more, make it more of a standardized type tournament to where other people have advantages in scoring somehow. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, to be honest with you, but I think, I don't know. To me, it's like, the same person keeps winning every time, and deservedly so. So I think it's more geared towards closer competition. I just don't know what that's going to look like yet. Do you have any? I mean, I'm sure you might have some ideas, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of think it might be more towards seeing what other people can do and how to get them more involved.
It's that's a tricky question, because literally anything can happen. My camera moved for a second. Yeah, anything can happen, especially if there's so many creative ideas of how to make T20 better. Not only just to obviously make it more challenging for Xerxes, because he keeps, for some reason, winning all the time, but trying to keep things interesting around here in T20. It's time for a change. And my prediction, I'm thinking maybe we extended days, so that way we're bringing out new T20 games out here. Or you know what? No, make it 2 days. I'm thinking 2 days instead of 3, because that way it'll make things more fun. Less time on the table. Pressure's more high. We got to set a bar for these players. So that's what I'm thinking. Friday, day 1, night 2. It all ends on night 2.
Yeah, I like it. That'd be a good idea. Just scheduling wise to get players in as well. That was one thing that I noticed just for me. I'd never done it before, but I would think it would be hard to put real time on a machine with so many players there as well. So yeah, maybe staggered out who can come when. I don't know.
You gotta get there first before everyone else. That's if you're really. What's up?
Need to talk to Xerxes and get some ideas from him.
Yeah, how does he come out? Well, we got to see what Xerxes. If Xerxes used to come here more often. I mean, I keep telling these players, it's like Gamer of the Year, huh? You want to set that title up high, and that if that means to come out here more often and destroy some scores, I mean, I'll do that in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm pretty sure you would too, right, Bullmaster? I mean, you've put in some scores recently, and you deserve a fair shot at the Gamer of the Year title, don't you? I mean, I would agree.
Hey, I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, though, I don't believe I do. So many gamers that are much more involved, just better caliber of players. Just for me, I put up scores in Desert Assault, but that took a lot out of me, and I'm sure it does for all of these players too. But just all of the practice and timing, it's hard work, and I mostly play these games just to play them through with my friends, just to play them through, see the endings, just appreciate the games for what they are more than anything, and just to have fun with them more than just the seriousness and hard work of putting in scores. So a lot of respect to these guys, to Zers, Pete Hahn, James White, Andrew. I saw you on Power Stone. I know that you're going hard at. I want to say one thing. I think I've challenged you like 2 or 3 times with the hardcore belt, and you smoked me every time. So, I mean, you've got way more of a chance than I do. So, I'm just out here to have fun, and enjoy the community, and just take everything in.
Sure. Yeah, and they're I mean, that's fair to say, especially if you got time on your hands. At least you're out there. You're wondering what's next, like what's out there, like what's new with the community. Who's strong, and is Pete Hahn ever gonna come back, or any of the legend gamers like that, So that's always something to look out for. Who would you say would be like your top favorite community gamer of all time? Because I know you've been watching the streams that Galloping Ghost. You've been tuning into the community, so I mean, you've got to have a favorite gamer, right?
So man, again, so many great players. I have all the respect in the world for Andrew, who just comes in and just grinds it out and just puts in. I told him yesterday he's going to have half the scores in this place before too much longer. I mean, just the work and the time that he puts in, and just how good he is, and the dedication. James White, man, he just has so much talent. I've seen him just come in, and he could just pick games up. I mean, just quickly. If you had to pin me on a favorite, though, I'm going to go with Pete Hahn. I just have so much respect for him. I've watched a lot of his live streams, and he has 1cc'd some of the hardest games I've ever seen, like Contra Hardcore on Genesis on very hard. He 1cc's that. RoboCop. I mean, just so many more. I was playing that today. I mean, it's just so difficult. He's got so many more. But another thing I really like about Pete is his attitude. Man, the guy's just so humble. You would never know just how much he's accomplished. I believe he's been inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame, International Video Game Hall of Fame. And, he'll talk to anybody. He's just the most humble guy in the world. And I love that about him.
Character speaks a lot, especially if you've got a resume of gaming, so props to him. And I know NRS is taking care of him, so well deserved, Pete. If you're watching, respect him, man. So yeah, I mean, just seeing where things go. I mean, you've obviously been tuning into the community for a while. You're trying to keep track of what we do, the new Monday games that we put out here. But yeah, I mean, how long have you been a gamer? Like, you coming out here to play games. I mean, there's got to be a huge drive for you to do that. So, what started it?
So when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember going to the grocery store with my mom, and the first time that I'd ever really focused on an arcade, they had a POW there, and it's the attract mode. And I'm a guy growing up at that age into all the action movies and fighting TV shows and all that is popular at the time. And I see the POW attract mode where the guy's in jail and he blows up his door and then he starts fighting people. And from then on, I said, I'm all in on this. About a year later, that same store got Pit Fighter. And, a lot of people, you could say what you want about that game. It looked great at the time. I still love it for nostalgia reasons. I think the arcade version is actually pretty good. It's fun, for a little bit. That got me into it early. So was in arcades since then. I've always loved Nintendo, been a big collector of it, played that with my friends a lot. But the arcade versions of these, a lot of those games were ports, and the arcade versions were just so much better, JP. All I would like to do was go to arcades. My dad, I remember from an early age, he would take me out and I'd play King of the Monsters 2, go to the Dayton Mall with my mom. She'd just drop me off there and just spend hours in there, and it just went by in minutes just playing games nonstop. And the time just flew by. games like Ninja Turtles when I was 10 back then, showing my age right now. And then just going with my brother and playing these co-op games. And I have a lot of arcades in my basement now. I bought a lot growing up and have just always been fascinated with them. And the Galloping Ghost has been so good because, again, just always being in love with games and then just seeing all these new ones that are out there, new to me, that are just so good and fun. It's why I drive out here, and I joke with my wife on these Monday mystery games, especially the ones I really like. I'm saying, this is why I drive 4.5 hours each way just for games like this.
The games that you have in your house, what's the collection like? Give us the spill. Give us the tea. What do you got, Bill?
So my favorite game of all time, played this one all the time growing up. The Ghost actually doesn't have it yet. Maybe they have it in the vaults. Is NBA Maximum Hang Time. Just an amazing.
Okay.
I think that it's night and day better than NBA Jam. Play it with my friends a lot. Just have so much fun with that. I've got Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And then I've got a sports station, which is NFL Blitz 2000 Gold and NBA Showtime. And then I also have 2 linked Cruise and Exotica dedicated cabinets, the sit-downs. And my daughters and their friends, they play it all the time. My youngest daughter's 11. Anytime she has a sleepover, they're playing it all night down there. So it's good to see that they still enjoy these games too. And then I also have a dual linked Time Crisis 3, which is really fun.
It sounds like fun. I didn't even know they had like a fourth. I didn't know they have a 4th series of NBA Jam. So I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so they actually just released, when they released the Arcade 1-Up NBA Jam, that game was on there as well. So it went NBA Jam, then NBA Showtime, then Maximum Hang Time. And then after that was NBA Showtime, which is like a 3D version, kind of like Blitz. And that was the last one they made, for Midway anyway.
So what was I going to say? Do you ever play Blitz 99 recently? Or was it just like that, the whole collection of Blitz?
I'm going to give my friend John a shout out. Yeah, I played all of those Blitz games. When you had the Bloody Wars a while back, so my friend John Jeffries is the best Blitz arcade player I've ever seen. I own the game, and I can't do anything. He just crushes me at it. So when you had your tournament, I was trying to get him to come out. He was working with his schedule. He's a really busy guy too, married, and he has a daughter. And he really wanted to come out, but the timing just didn't work. So maybe sometime in the future, you ever have another Blitz tournament, see if he could get out there. Would have been really excited to see what he could do.
So lucky for your friend, because I'm a huge football fan, like #1 football fan ever. Every Super Bowl every year, like every Super Bowl that's coming up this year, I'm probably going to be doing a Blitz 99 tournament every year before the Super Bowl. So I know for the 2 more months, the day before the Super Bowl, we're going to have another one. So you might want to let your friend know.
I will. Hey, are you really good at it?
You could say I'm average. Not too long ago, I put in a 3rd place score for Blitz 99, actually, which is, in my opinion, I think it was pure luck. Oh no, I typed for a second, but honestly, I think it's pure luck. I had the New England Patriots. That's always my team. And yeah, during that time when it was before Brady, it was like Brady's junior year of Michigan. That was like towards the end of Drew Bledsoe's career, and like that team was still like in a mediocre stage. So hey, for that team that's like that bad, when I got the score from that Blitz game, I mean, hey, I'll take that.
That's good too, and that's tough. I don't know what the settings are like where you set the 3rd place score, but I know that those games are infamous to keep you putting in money to keep the score close. Because if you're getting blown out, you're not going to put the next quarter in. But so it's hard to run up a good lead on the computer. So that's good accomplishment on your part.
No, we won't have to worry about the quarters anymore. So that's the beauty of the ghost right there.
Thank goodness for that.
Right. So yeah, I mean, because I know your last day at the arcade is tomorrow. When's your next trip out?
So me and my friend Rob usually come out about every 3 or 4 months, and today it's been 3 months. So I'm actually looking maybe another month or so away. As long as we can get a nice little stretch of weather, I would say sometime in January we can expect to be back. And looking forward to that.
Cool. I will be definitely expecting your visit. Yeah, you definitely gotta come on down before the football season ends. We gotta grab ourselves a beer, head down to Sebastian's and have a good time.
Absolutely. Just hopefully I'm a Patriots fan just like you. Like you said, I've been a fan
Welcome
before.
to the club. I didn't know that. Phil's my #1 gamer of all time. Know that, folks. Give him the belt.
So yeah, I started liking the Patriots back in '95. Was wearing jerseys back in high school. Just really fell in love with them back then, and hopefully they can start being good again in a few years. I know that they've been rebuilding, but with all the success that they've had over the past several years, I can't complain. So, and
don't get me started with that. I mean, we've we're trying to delete our whole O-line. I mean, we just had this conversation yesterday, but just for the record, it's like, yeah, their O-line needs to be gone. I mean, Jared Mayo, I know people are talking lightly about him, but for me, it's just like, I don't know. You could put in some more work now that what's it called? Belichick is now in North Carolina, the same college that Drake May graduated from. So building up a team for the head coach of a college team, the man that has 6 Super Bowl wins 6 times. Come on, that's a steal. You're gonna have they're probably gonna have Bill recruit those guys and put them over here. Got to think out of the box sometimes.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about doing out there. It's going to be exciting to see. He's talking about building a program at the college level and training those guys how to be pros and how to exceed at the NFL and what they're looking for and how to work out and do just study film and run pro systems. So it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited for the
play hard for him.
I'm excited for the future. I mean, he's definitely going to be building up teams. So that's why, I mean, in all honesty, I just hope we keep, at this point, I just want us to lose so we can have the first overall pick and get something from North Carolina. Well, I'll probably, as a matter, yeah, it'll probably take time, though, to build up, especially if he's just coming in, it'll take time. But I'll be waiting. My hopes and dreams are coming back into reality. I know you as well, Phil. So we're in this together.
Yeah, I think it's only going to be a matter of time. The Patriots are a good program, and shouldn't be too much longer before they're back to, competing.
Yeah, let's hope for the best, right? We know you've been a huge supporter for the arcade, and we appreciate you coming back out here. Your next visit is in somewhere around January. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans watching this stream? Is there anything we should know a little bit more about you?
So, I'd just like to say to the fans of the stream, just thank you. I mean, everybody that's part of the community, one thing that I've noticed ever since I started coming here in 2019 is, just how everybody, I believe I heard King say this and just completely agree that everybody has each other's backs, that the people genuinely like each other. If you're a lot of times I come out here and this place just does wonders for my mental health. So if any of you are out there struggling and just need to come in and just get away from just escape from your problems, just come out. And it's just so good for that. And, just thankful for everyone out there. And, as far as knowing anything else about me, I'm just somebody who, tries my best to treat people the way that I want to be treated. I've been married for 21 years and have 2 daughters. I'm very blessed. My wife, Holly's so cool to let me come out here as often as she does. And when I say let, I mean encourage me, because she knows how much I enjoy it. So, JP, I just love getting to know people like you. Doc's so amazing. And I'm just so thankful to the arcade that it exists, and just want to see everybody be able to come out and enjoy it as much as they can as well.
That's awesome to hear, Phil. And I'm glad that it's good to hear that you have a supporting family. Especially if you want to go out sometimes and relive the childhood feelings. It's great to have, especially if you've been working hard almost every day. I'm assuming. So, it's cool to see you out here, man. Well, I appreciate you being on here for the Bloodcast, man. I know you've got to catch some things up for scores, and got some scoring to do and some games to play. So we'll get you right on it. And I'll see you tomorrow, actually, since I'll be opening. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, looking forward to seeing you. Thanks again for having me on. Love the podcast, and best of luck to you in the future.
Thanks, Phil. See you later, man.
See you.
That was full Phill, Bullmaster, ladies and gentlemen. That was a nice little talk that we have. Before we part ways from the Bloodcast, I just want to give a huge shout outs to Stephen Lucas, because not week, but the week before, he was doing a roundtable, and he was interviewing the members from the Underground Retrocade, and I guess he had like a Thanksgiving tournament lined up at Underground, and Steven asked if the Bloody Wars tournament would be touring at the Underground Retrocade. So Scott Lambert, if you're watching, man, I'm open ears, man. Let's communicate. Let's reach out to each other. Let's see if we can make things work. So reach out to me at any time. I'm free. Let's talk. With that said, folks, that's going to wrap things up for the Bloodcast. Thank you for everyone that has been tuning in to the stream. And like I said, we've got a lot of show coming up soon. But for now, folks, to those that are on Twitch, we're going to be sending everyone over to Arcus. Arcus is playing. What is he playing? Arcatheon, whatever that game is. Probably a game that I'm off with, but yeah, tell them about the Bloody Wars tournament. Tell them you got to come out here to Galloping Ghost. Make it out here in Illinois and play some arcade games, especially if you're going to be playing retro arcade games. If you're going to be playing those games, you got to make a visit to Galloping Ghost, because it's a must. But for now, folks, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Until next time, this is JP Pitts, your host of the Bloody Wars tournament. For more information on how you can sign up today, just visit www.bloody-wars-tournament.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this stream, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.